All right, this is my new friend, Charlotte Belcik. She moved here from the estate west of here, which will be the state which will not be named. And so you've been here a couple of years now.
4.
And we welcome you to Texas. Thank you for coming. And let's see, where to start. Why in the world would you come? Okay, did you know about Houston before you came to Texas? Did you have an understanding of what Houston was?
A big oil city.
Yeah, a great big oil city, and muggy and smelly
Yeah.
and hot and okay. And so, but you still voluntarily showed up in Houston in July. Why? Tell us why.
A couple of reasons. So you've talked with Mike,
Right.
my husband, and he's very involved in the Fredericksburg Tea Party.
Okay.
I do more behind the scenes type of stuff. Supportive of a lot of what y'all do,
Okay.
but I'm not as active in front of everybody. But we were doing the precinct convention, the county convention,
Okay.
and we went to that, and we wanted to get more involved with the Republican Party in Texas, having come from California and seen the Republican Party pretty much wiped out. We just wanted to kind of make sure it didn't happen here in Texas. So that was part of it, not really knowing what we were getting ourselves into, and listening to you and Angela, we volunteered and said we'd come along. So we came to learn an awful lot here.
Yeah. And obviously, as most of our people know, we didn't have the convention, but we had the meetings before the convention, the pre-convention meetings, which we weren't even sure were going to happen.
Correct.
We had no. I'm supposed to know this stuff, and I had no idea. Sunday afternoon, I canceled my hotel reservations.
As did we.
But it was already too late, and so I had to pay for Sunday night. And then by the time I figured out that they're actually having meetings on Monday, it was too late for me to get there. But I made the same reservations, which is starting on Monday night, and so I already paid for Sunday anyway. So we came down here. You guys did about the same thing. You arrived Monday evening.
We arrived Monday evening. Yeah,
Monday
we
evening.
weren't sure for sure what was going on. I started to get an inkling at one of the town hall discussions that they might be moving over or had planned on being here all the time. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Communication was very poor. So we decided to come to the pre-convention. Because we canceled our reservation, we were unable actually to get reservations for Thursday and Friday night. So we had reservations Monday, checking out Thursday, and then we had one for Saturday night because it was supposed to go late Saturday, and then we said, we'll figure out what to do with those 2 nights in between.
Yeah.
As it turns out, well, we're going home, it doesn't matter, because it's going to be a virtual convention, so whatever. But yeah, that's how we wound up here.
So so tell me about so I saw you Monday night and you said, tell me what to do.
Right.
And I said, well, go to the meetings in the morning and sit and listen and watch, and if you feel compelled to testify or if you want to, and so that's about as much guidance as I gave you.
Yeah, it was.
And that's, but as I hope you can see now that there probably wasn't any more guidance I could have given you. Do you think?
No, there really isn't. My biggest disappointment with this pre-convention is the complete and total lack of communication from committee members, from the Republican Party of Texas, to the delegates that are here on what's going on, when it's going on, and what they expect us to do.
And where?
And where any of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
all of that.
One of the committees has an agenda listed, and I think it was good until the ink dried.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a single committee meeting that actually started on time.
Right.
Usually an hour or hour and a half later, they might get around to starting type of thing. A 10-minute break turns into 40 minutes, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, but it's been interesting to watch the SCRC meetings on Facebook. And quite honestly, some of the comments that all of the delegates, people who aren't part of the SCRC, are making. And it's been interesting to see, I hate to say it, the lack of understanding from our committee members of what parliamentary procedure is, what Robert's Rules of Orders are, what they should be doing, what is allowed and what isn't allowed. I went through the rules. Some I read very carefully, some of them I kind of glanced over, and and there is a lot to it, and I appreciate everything they're trying to do, because they're cramming a lot of information into a few days, but they're not, I hate to say it, they're not receptive to people and opinions. I've walked into more than one subcommittee meeting of a committee, and I swear to God, I thought I walked in naked or something, another the looks I got. It was just like, why are you here? And we never know when they're asking for public testimony. We don't know, they call the name, and if you're not there, you're out of luck, even though, it could be 5 hours later. It's just totally disorganized. And I'm involved in other volunteer committees. I'm an officer in an international volunteer group, and I've never seen anything so disorganized and poorly communicated. It could have been done. I was actually here in November with that other group at this hotel, and it was a completely different environment. Agendas were kept, people knew what was going on. There's a lot going on, a lot of conversations that take place in hallways, a lot of discussion, and it's hard to control sometimes, but it can be controlled if you've got somebody willing to control and communicate.
Have you, from listening, because I know you've been sitting and just listening, you didn't testify, did you give any testimony?
I did not give public testimony.
Okay,
I gave conversations, maybe in the background. I've talked to a couple of committee members.
Good.
But I have not done public testimony like Michael did.
Yeah, Michael did. And what do you think? So you sat and listened to a lot of testimony.
I did.
What did you learn? Did you learn something about grassroots Republicans? Was there anything new? Was there anything that you expected to hear from grassroots Republicans but didn't hear?
Oh, well, of course there's new things I've learned, because there's a lot of things going on that I'm not even aware of, or I'm not, some of it, just not aware of.
Things that are happening around the state.
Things that are happening, some of the planks and platforms and whatever other issues and things like that, Right. Like I said, I have probably been more active in the Texas politics maybe a year. Mike, I think, has been a little bit, maybe a couple of years. So some of it's still new to me. He's a lot more, like I said, he's a lot more active, so he hears more than I do. I get his filtered version sometimes.
Okay, all right, that's good.
So there were some new things out there that I was unaware of. There are some things that surprised me. Actually, where I was just now, the conversation I was having with the gentleman that was sitting next to me was rather interesting. I'm not sure what was going on at the front. At that point in time, I was more involved in the conversation and the world solving that we were doing back there in the peanut gallery. So I've learned a lot of different issues that I didn't even know were issues. I don't necessarily agree with everything. Yeah. Oh, what a shock. I'm a Republican. I'm allowed my own opinion.
Yeah, I know.
But I also think that we need to do something as a party to, similar to what the other party does. I mean, one person says something, they all line up, and everybody speaks the same language. Yeah. We need to look less disorganized to the public, so that the party becomes more respected. We're being shamed so much in the public,
right?
And we've got to come up with a way to counter that.
Yeah.
I mean, there are good people in the Republican Party.
Oh, absolutely.
And you wouldn't know it if you listen to the news or read the newspaper.
Yeah, that's right. We're all a bunch of wackadoos.
That is true.
That's right, I'm sure. Oh, my goodness. So anything, let's see, what about good? Is there something that you just went, oh, that feels so good. I'm glad I heard that. I'm glad I saw that. I'm glad I participated in that. Anything like that?
Well, there have been a few changes that I've seen on the platform, a little word changing here and there and things like that. So having people who are passionate about something, unfortunately, is the first step.
Right.
You got to have a lot of passion to get through all this stuff. But having those things accepted, and they seem to be good, logical things. Yeah. And then having everybody listen and accept. Yeah. And make the changes in that particular plank. Yeah. I don't know whatever happened with the priorities, even though that's where I spent all day yesterday.
Yeah. Well, Well, I think we'll all get down. We'll have a longer list that we all get to vote on Saturday.
Right.
And then I think they pick the top 8 or 6.
Whatever
or
number they
like
keep,
that.
they keep
But,
bouncing back and forth.
Did
so.
you, let's see, anything about the priorities? Is there anything you think should be a priority of the Republican Party that wasn't even mentioned, that wasn't even brought up? Or
That I don't know, because
Okay.
I can't see what their document is that they were working off of.
You had asked me about that. I think 4 or 5 days before we came down here, you
Yeah.
said, is there a place where I can see all the resolutions? And I didn't even know how to answer you other than no. I
That
don't
was pretty
think
much your
so.
answer too.
That was,
What,
I
you
don't
want to be
know.
prepared?
Yeah.
And actually, I look at night. I looked again this morning to see what was out there. Everything was 2018 stuff. We just recently found the platform, the Google Docs link to the platform stuff.
Yeah.
So that at least now I can do. But what I understand is everything's supposed to be posted by 10:30 tonight for
Okay.
both, or I guess all 3 committees.
So you're staying up late?
Well, I'll definitely be reading it before 1 o'clock tomorrow, and I
Okay,
still
there
got
we
a
go.
4-hour drive home. So
Okay,
somewhere along
all
the
right.
line, I'll have to read it. And I mean, I am one of these, I guess, strange people that like to know what it is I'm voting on.
Oh,
So,
no, you're not strange.
So
You're
it's
not.
important to me to read and understand. If I'm going to pick my top priorities, whatever the numbers they allow us to vote on, I need to know all of them so I can
Right.
pick them.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way I am.
Okay. Good for you. I'm proud of you. Thank you for that. So the magic question: are you going to come back in 2 years?
Probably.
Probably.
I've been assured that the chaos and the lack of communication is unusual.
It is extremely unusual.
So
have
I
to
will
say.
I will give it another try. And
Give
if it's as
another
bad as
try.
next time, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go slap somebody up alongside the head.
I'll cut you loose on James Dickey or whoever our leader is then. Charlotte, thank you for coming up here.
Thanks
I
a lot,
appreciate it. All right.
Okay.